Hi, it's Jenny Dame. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I am so excited to join Sewrena and Ashley Mae Makes for their Shirtwaist September collab. And did I just barely make it in time? This is literally the 30th of September. But I made it, and I'm so excited to join in making this shirtwaist project. And I will be using a vintage pattern. It is Simplicity 39.94. I had no idea this was in my stash. I was looking at some to buy on Etsy, but I thought, well, let me just see what's in my stash, and this pattern was perfect. Like, look at this hairdo. I would love to rock something this short. Maybe one day. That's kind of my dream, like once in a lifetime cut that I do want to do, is just go extremely like short. Not pixie, but you know, something really short. Anyway, so I'm really excited to use this pattern, and for fabric I'm going to use what I have in my stash. I have my eye on a vintage fabric that I've been hoarding and I think this would be perfect. Let's get started on this project. This is the vintage fabric we'll be using for this project. It is a beautiful yellow and blue floral print with ivory and brown brushstrokes in the background. Here's the fabric company name. Definitely going to try to find more, and again we'll be using Simplicity 39.94. This is our mock-up. And I tried it on and I put it on my dress form just to confirm, because we are both having the same issue where it doesn't close all the way. It fits good on the waist, but here I need to finagle it to where it will close with buttons. Honestly, this is why I kind of steer away from button-up things, because I always have some kind of issue with the bust. So I'm gonna do one more mock-up and hopefully this would be able to close. I kind of like this two-tone thing that I came up with. I might do a project where I'm using a solid and a print. I think it's really cute. Anyway, so let's do another mock-up. This is a lot better. I seam ripped the fold that it had on the pattern and I draped it on the dress form and I folded it over the bust, and that was a lot better. And so I'm a little concerned if I might need more buttons, but I noticed on the pattern she only has 3. This one has 4, but I don't know. I'm gonna see how it looks with the 3. It might add more, so it might be slightly different from the pattern, but yeah, this is a good start. And now I'm going to cut on the vintage fabric. I'm so nervous, I don't know why. This is my first time using vintage fabric for a project. I actually bought this fabric last year when I went vintage shopping for Black Friday, and I did a video about it. If you haven't seen it, I'll put it up in a card. Having experience making this project already in voiceover world, I love the way the vintage fabric looks. You'll see at the end result, it looks extremely authentic, which it would be if someone were to make this project in the 1950s. They would have the same materials that I would have, and it's really giving me a lot of motivation to use those fabrics I've been hoarding and waiting for a special occasion to use. The special occasion should be now, so I'm really glad I did this. This is the back of the bodice, and I pinned the darts and the top of the yoke, and I took it to the sewing machine to sew it down. I've been trying to be really good at taking out the pins before I sew it through the sewing machine. Let me know in the comments if you have any horror stories. I've definitely jammed my needle and broke it when it hits the pin. This might be a made-up story, but I heard someone lost an eye once sewing through a pin. Let me know if you've heard any similar stories or if you had any bad experiences. Is it really that bad? Now that the darts are completed, I'm going to pin the front bodice to the back end. There's going to be 2 sides for the front bodice. I'm pin the sides and then sew the sides together. Also pinning the top of the shoulders. As on the dress form, I definitely recommend breaking out that vintage fabric you've been hoarding and make something really pretty with it. This was folded in my sewing stash for a year, and now I get to make a really pretty dress, and yeah, I just really love this color. This is the top of our skirt pattern, and I was starting to get a little bit confused because of this. I was like, why is there a dart here? But it says it's a stitching line, and per the instructions, it wants us to stitch along the stitching line and then make a little slash, and then we're going to cover it over with bias binding. Before I cut down the stitching line, I folded it on my dress form with the bodice. I wanted to make sure the folds would match up to the opening where the buttons would be. Always a good idea just to double check before there's no going back. Time to sew the skirt, and I used a French seam, so I pinned together the front facing fabrics and I flipped it and sewed it so all the raw edges were enclosed. And I was having some trouble with the back pleats. Once I pinned it to where the button opening would be, it was still kind of loose, so I undid some of the pleats in the back and repinned it, and it was fitting a lot better. And then I sewed that together. And my secret to doing buttons is I first use snaps just to make sure the fit is right. I don't know why I have I have trust issues when it comes to buttons, and that's why I always do them by hand. I find this process really relaxing to sew the buttons by hand, so I enjoy it. Maybe one day I'll give the button attachment a try. And I'm really happy from the buttons that I found. It looks like the swoosh in the background of the pattern. Just perfect, and now it is accessories time. I found these earrings while I was thrifting in Texas along with this lucite brooch. I thought they would match the vintage fabric and to wear for the grand reveal. I hope you like the completed project. I love how this turned out. It's become my new favorite. I totally understand why Sewrena and Ashley Main love shirtwaist dresses because they are so comfortable to wear. Also, this pattern was really easy to make. It's definitely beginner friendly. I didn't notice this while I was making it, but I am going to add a little bit of Velcro in between the buttons so it lays down flat more. And I'll let you hear a little bit of what I have to deal with while Lucas is filming me.
From Shrek.
Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye!